Hello Gemini, and welcome to your November 2023 reading. Let's go ahead and get started with a card from my intuitive deck here. So what is it that Gemini needs to know for November? Let's see what comes through. Okay, I really like this card. It feels like a very clear road. I'm not saying you have everything figured out, but I also don't see a ton of complications as you progress toward things this month. I don't see a lot of wandering. I don't see a lot of confusion or chaos. It feels very clear. Like if you have a goal, big or small, it seems like as you put one foot in front of the other, the path is going to be very obvious to you. But if you don't have a goal and you're not really working toward anything, it'll probably just be a pretty smooth month. You know, you may not have huge interruptions or anything like that. It will probably be a pretty straight shot. I'm also kind of feeling a little bit of creativity coming through with this card. Like there could be some kind of creative stirrings. Now, Venus comes into Libra on the 8th of November, okay, which makes her the strongest planet in the chart. Very strong, and that activates your 5th house at that time. So it makes sense that there would be some creativity coming through that. And it feels like not just brainstorming and not just playing creative, but like actually creating something, getting your hands dirty, getting your hands into the work and bringing something to life. And maybe this could indicate your creative flow also being very clear. So if you have been experiencing any kind of creative blocks, seems like you probably don't have to deal with that so much this month. Okay? Let's pull out an animal spirit card. So what else does Gemini need to know for November? Okay, time for a deep dive. Well, I mean, I don't know. Are you in some kind of a soul-seeking type of place? A place where you're going within yourself and trying to find your voice or trying to figure something out? Could be internal. Although I have a suspicion that it's probably more of a deep dive in terms of a goal or in terms of a project that you have, like really rolling up your sleeves and getting in there. What I like about this card is that I don't see Gemini backing down. That's what I like about that swan spirit. You're not backing down. You're not afraid of doing what it takes. You're not afraid of going where you need to go. You know, it's like, all right, kind of bring it on. I'm ready. We can do it. I sense a fearlessness with that card coming through too, because deep dives, whether internal or external, they do require a bout of fearlessness, I would say. Being willing to do that, being willing to go there. Not everyone is because they're afraid of the work. They're afraid of the changes. They're afraid of unintended consequences, but I don't see that from Gemini in the least. So what else for Gemini do you need to know here? We have your dreams need a practical plan. Yeah, it's just such a practical time right now. I don't see this astrological environment as being, I mean, it's like magical, but in a practical way. It's like the magic is done through implementation. It's done through taking action. If you've watched any of the other zodiac sign readings, you'll know that that's a pretty clear message for everyone this month. But your dreams need a practical plan. If you have a plan and some semblance of a strategy, that's when that kind of looking at that straight line in the very center of that card there, that straight path can really come through. You know, you don't have to sit around and worry about, oh, well, will the universe redirect me? Will I get a detour? Like when you can cross that bridge when you come to it. If you have a plan and you go after it and you start checking off all those to-do list items, you'll be so pleased with yourself throughout November, throughout December, and even on through January. I feel like there could be so much incredible progress for you, especially because Scorpio season specifically, so the first, few weeks of November is 6th house activation for you. And 6th house is all about really getting stuff together, and putting together a practical plan is perfect for that environment. Mars being in your 6th house really wants to activate in that area. So If you don't have a plan, now is a great time to put one together. If you do have a plan, now is a great time to implement. Go do the plan. Go do the plan. The plan needs doing. So, tarot cards, what do you need to see here? Okay. Sorry. 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords has been coming out quite a bit. I'm not surprised it came out for you. We'll talk about it. 9 of Cups. Okay. First of all, loving the Ace of Wands, that is that creative spark. It's the initial kind of fire getting lit quality. This usually comes in the form of desire or just like a really cool idea. But there's also the force of will that comes through here too. It's kind of like utilizing that will or willpower in order to create. And that motivation, that inspiration isn't lacking. Even if you have circumstances in your life that kind of are like, I really don't like this. I don't want to deal with it. That Ace of Wands comes out and it says, well, you're going to kind of feel that fire under your butt a little bit. And this is not coming from anything other than yourself. It's not an external motivator. It's you have something you need to deal with. You have a plan that needs to be executed. You have a dream you want to go after, whatever the case is. And through the sheer force of will, you are going to make it happen. And with the 9 of Cups, there is definitely an indication of wishes coming true. Okay? With the 9, let's talk about the 3 of Swords. It came out first, obviously, so it kind of feels like this is maybe where you're coming into it. 3 of Swords kind of has this weird way of being old and fresh at the same time. Usually a 3 of Swords is something that happened a while ago, but we still hold it with us, and it still dictates a lot of our decisions. It was a betrayal, it was a disappointment, it was a failure, it was something that someone else did, I'm gonna say something. Sorry, I'm pausing because I'm trying to think of how to say it. So it kind of feels like there's an initial wound that probably was incurred by someone else. Someone else did something. But there are additional wounds that you may have incurred yourself because perhaps maybe, I don't know, after that first one, you didn't feel like you deserved better, or you didn't feel like you could, or you had too many insecurities, or whatever the case is. So this feels like a compound wound, initially done by someone else, but that continues to permeate throughout your life because of choices that you make because of that first one. It feels like Gemini is genuinely ready to break this and to break away from this. Now, one of the themes that I've been talking about with everyone, because it's just kind of the nature of the season, is that this is a time for us to heal through action. And this has been a message for a couple of months now. We heal through action. We heal through doing things and redirecting our focus toward things that are productive and good and toward our wishes coming true, 9 of Cups. That the focus here and the passion here with the Ace of Wands, or the will that we utilize and leverage in order to get us to a better or a different place, that is the mechanism through which we release the past. There is also a message coming through that we need to do what is required in order to achieve something. And when we really show up for ourselves in that way, when we have our practical plan, as we see with this card, we have this practical plan and we say, okay, what is required of me is to do X, Y, and Z, right? We have to do these things in order for that outcome to come to fruition, at least as far as we can see. Well, then we have to actually do X, Y, and Z. It seems really basic and really simple, but I don't think we understand how impactful that is sometimes, and how magical it can be, and how healing that can be. Because when we actually show up and we accomplish X, and then we show up again and we accomplish Y, and then we show up again and we accomplish Z, and we do all the things, we start to have more self-respect, And we start to have a better understanding of progress and a better understanding of success and a better understanding of kind of that focus and that discipline and what that really means. Because discipline, it's not always such a painful thing. Often, discipline is the vehicle through which our dreams are attained. And because of that, there is magic in that method. Because we have this the word practical literally coming out here, and there's time for a deep dive, this is time for you to go head first into something, to be disciplined, to be focused, to be on that straight path. Let that creativity flow, but it's not chaos. I don't see chaos for Gemini. I see order. It's creative order, and it's such a beautiful thing. And let's see what else comes out. Such a healing thing. You release so many fears. You release so many wounds. You untether yourself from all of these anchors that maybe you didn't even realize that were keeping you grounded. Okay. Oh, look at the other ace. I love the Ace of Coins. I'm trying to see. Queen of Swords is definitely you. Kind of feeling like that Knight of Cups is someone else that means well, someone else that has good intentions. Now, I'm not getting a lot in terms of relationships in these readings this month, but you may have a little bit more of a relationship message. Now, this may not be romantic, okay, although often there is something going on here with the Knight of Cups, but it might be romantic, it might not be, but clearly this is someone who's interested in you or working with you or interested in your talent or your products or whatever you have. There does seem to be some kind of, I don't know why I feel like the Queen of Swords is guiding the Knight of Cups. Almost as though she's pointing toward the Ace of Coins. She's offering, like you, Gemini, offering some kind of advice. And this is someone who's sort of following your advice. You may be more of an advisor role. Someone who is telling other people how something can be done. But I think the only way that you can know that is because you've done it yourself. Because there does seem to be a lot of, like you have clout. Nine of Cups. You can back it up, right? You're not only just talking the talk, you're walking the walk too. And a Knight of Cups could certainly benefit from what you have to offer. They could benefit from your mind, benefit from your counsel. If it is something romantic, I don't know that anything will develop there, especially if it's like a new thing. If you're already in a relationship, you may be kind of taking more of that counselor role. But if this is a new thing coming in, for some reason I feel like they're just totally not ready. They're not at the emotional maturity level that Gemini demands at this moment. But it doesn't mean you're going to be mean to them. It doesn't mean you're going to, do anything bad. I think that you're just going to... I don't know why it's like you're just guiding them. I don't know what that even means. You do seem like a guide or an usher of some kind. You're ushering someone or something toward a really positive outcome. Now, the Ace of Coins is both yours, but I also kind of think that you're offering that to the Knight of Cups too for some reason. That you have like a handful of gold. And maybe this is also a means of healing for you as well. This is a means of motivation for you. Because you might look at this Knight of Cups and see a lot of yourself in that Knight of Cups. That's who you used to be. You see them, you understand where they're coming from, and maybe you realize how far you've come. You realize how much you've learned, you realize, because sometimes we don't realize, do we? Sometimes we don't understand the depth of our wisdom until we see someone who's just at the beginning, right? They're at the beginning of that process. And then our eyes sort of open and we're like, oh, wow. Like I really have been through it. I really know. I really have that knowledge that other people are looking for. So there could be a pretty eye-opening experience for you, and it's going to motivate you even that much more. So as much as I said this was an internal, kind of sheer act of will, now I'm sort of seeing something that's going to continue to drive you. This is not going to motivate you. This is not pushing you. It's not like you're doing it for the Knight of Cups. You're not doing that. You're doing it for yourself. But other people can certainly benefit from the wisdom that you have. But it's like seeing them and guiding them and showing and advising them makes it more exciting for you to do whatever goal it is you're going after, because it opens your eyes to how capable you truly are. Because we don't always have that clear concept of ourselves. We don't always have that clear self-visual, if you will. I don't know what that's called. I'm looking for a specific phrase and I can't find it. I can't, my mind's not going there. Self-image, right? We don't always have that super clear self-image. But the Knight of Cups seems to be coming in to help you to clarify your self-image. It's helping you to get context on a lot of things. And because of that, you are more likely to execute on this new endeavor, or to do this deep dive, to really go into something, to channel that creativity and to make something great happen, or bring something into form. Because it does seem like you're bringing things into form. This Ace of Wands, it's going somewhere. It's not just like a desire or a passion that just ignites and then nothing happens. There's an action associated with it, and that creates something material. And I see that with the Ace of Coins. Let's see what else. Wow, another ace. Wheel of Fortune. And you officially have all 4 aces. I love when this happens. A few years ago, I think it was like 2018 or something. I think it was 2018. I remember every time I did a Libra reading, there were always so many aces. And actually, for some reason, Libra, there are always lots of aces. But now here I am reading for Gemini, and this makes me so happy. First of all, I love the clarity that the Ace of Swords brings. I love the ability to articulate and communicate as well, because I see a lot of that. And then I also look at this Ace of Cups and I see fulfillment, and I see joy, and I see connection and emotional, just emotional satisfaction. And then we have this beautiful Wheel of Fortune, which is like, hey, Gemini, this is all moving in the right direction. This is all going well for you. This whole thing is so exactly what I said with that first card. I probably could have only read that one card, and that would have been enough. That would have been enough for you. But I really believe this month is a beginning for Gemini. And it won't feel like that. It'll just continue to feel like regular life. But when you apply your practical plan and you start really going after it, you're going to start seeing how connected you are to it. I feel like this practical plan thing being applied to a goal that matters to you, it's going to give you a sense of purpose. Please keep in mind, this does not have to be something huge. All right. It could just be, I want to move to a new house, or I want to have a new job, or I want to move to a new city. Whatever is aligned with your dream. Do you know what your dream is? Have you thought about it? Have you written it down? Do you have a vision board? And have you backwards engineered your vision board? Like if you got a big picture of a yacht on your vision board, but you have got $25 in your bank account, have you figured out how to get from $25 to a multi-million-dollar yacht? Have you put some thought into it? Because now would be a good time to put some thought into it. What are the steps? Now, I know you don't know that everything is going to work, but that's where the Wheel of Fortune comes in. Because it takes you from one step to the next to the next. Now, the problem with the Wheel of Fortune is it doesn't reveal the whole plan all at once. It'll just take you from one step to the next step to the next step. But if you have a plan to put together to some degree, and you are actively and consciously working in the best way that you know how, well, when you accomplish something, and if the universe needs to intervene and say, oh, the next step that you think is the next step probably isn't the best one, I'm going to detour you a little bit over there, then you deal with that when it comes. I think that was one of the things I said at the beginning of the reading. You deal with the detours when they come. You cross that bridge when it comes. But I don't know. You have a lot of control right now. You have a lot of control and a lot of say in how your life goes, in whether or not you achieve that goal, and whether or not you... Now, keep in mind, achieving a goal, it's not always easy because sometimes it does depend on others. Like if you want a new job and that's your goal, well, that depends on whether or not that company hires you. But doesn't mean like if that doesn't come through, it doesn't mean that another company won't hire you. Okay? So what I've been telling people right now is when you're thinking about your goals, I would go more lifestyle focused right now. Especially as we move into Sagittarius and Capricorn season, lifestyle focus. What do you want your life to be? Okay? Instead of like, what do you want your bank account to look like? You can do that later. There will be a better time for that. But this is more lifestyle focused. And as you start taking steps toward that, the universe will reveal exactly what you need to know. And for some reason, I don't know why this little message came through, but this seems important for some reason. The guiding of someone else. For some reason, this is opening a door, and I don't really know how that's going to go down. Maybe an idea, because I look at this Ace of Swords looking straight up at that Knight of Cups. Maybe an idea will come to mind. Maybe something like kind of sparks within you, like, oh, you think of it in a new way, a new perspective that's going to help you. I'm not really sure. There's a reason for this, though. We'll see if we can get more information with the clarifiers. There's a reason for that relationship or that connection this month. Keep in mind, if this is a new romance, I'm not going to guarantee that this is going to go anywhere. I don't know that this is supposed to be your person. It could be, but I don't see that in the cards necessarily. I'm just seeing tons and tons of potential, but it doesn't mean that that's going to ultimately go to the finish line, okay? But it doesn't matter because that's not the role of this Knight of Cups. The role of this Knight of Cups is probably something other than what you think. Yeah, let's just pull out the clarifiers because I don't want to say anything else because I don't really know. Okay, so we're going to finish this reading off. We're going to pull out all the clarifiers. And for those of you who are new, the clarifiers are all the cards that we are going to cover in the comprehensive reading. We usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all those cards. So if you want to join me, of course, you are more than welcome. All the links are in the description box in the comment thread down below. So let's take a look at this Swan Spirit. What else does Gemini need to know here? Queen of Coins, Two of Swords, and Five of Coins. Okay, Five of Coins and Three of Swords kind of go hand in hand there. In the environment, what do you need to know? Two of Wands, Seven of Wands, and 10 of Coins. Beautiful. There is certainly a lot available to you right now, Gemini. Three of Swords, the Fool, Seven of Swords, Eight of Cups. For some reason now that Three of Swords looks like a dream you gave up on. Eight of Swords, Five of Swords, Five of Coins, Hanged Man, Seven of Cups, Nine of Swords, Eight of Wands, another Two of Wands, another 10 of Coins, beautiful. I like that those are connecting with the environment over here because it, leads to me to believe the availability of those coins for you. So we have a 4 of Swords, a 7 of Coins, and a 6 of Coins. 4 of Cups, another Ace of Cups, and a 6 of Cups, and another 9 of Cups. The World, another Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune has been coming out quite a bit. The Lovers, Queen of Coins, Justice, King of Wands, the Devil, and 10 of Swords. Okay. All right. This is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing November, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.